Hey guys, today I'm starting some seeds for my garden. I am doing herb seeds, different, see I'm doing thyme and mint, basil, oregano, sage, and that's it right now. I have some marjoram already started from a couple weeks ago, or several weeks ago. It's actually a plant now that it's ready to go outside, but I just wanted to make sure it's fully established, so I started way early, which I feel like I probably should have done with all these, but here we are. And so I'm going to go ahead and get started, and this will be more just time lapse and you watching me work. And if you have any questions, please ask them in the comments. So when you're doing your seeds, it's important to understand the depth the depth of planting seeds, because you can easily bury them too deep and then they won't have a chance to come up. And so make sure that when you're doing this, you're checking the backs of your packets to make sure you're planting them at the right depth. Okay, so here's my dilemma. I have 8 pots left, and I planted all this seed that I wanted to, like, make guarantee that I have, but I don't. I think I want to put more of some stuff for drying. So I have to just decide what do I need for the year for drying. That's like important when you're planting your seeds. Is what are you doing it for? Are you doing it for just because you want it, or because you're going to use it throughout the year? I am completely out of basil in my stores, in my personal store, like my pantry. And so I have 8 basil plants. Well, technically 16, because I put 2 seeds per pot, and they're planted separately. so that when I'm ready to plant them out, I can just pull them apart gently by the roots, just kind of wiggle them apart, and then I can plant 2 separate plants. So that's my plan so I technically have 16 plants here, if they all germinate too, because some of my seeds are older, and so they might not all germinate. But most of them will, because I think I got about half of the basil is brand new this year, since, I've been doing this for a while. I had to buy resupply. Anyways, that's besides the point. My thyme plants, I have 4 thyme plants, so I think that's plenty for, hopefully that's plenty that I'll be able to store some for winter. I have 8 different mint types. I think that's going to be enough for me to store for winter. And one thing I have to say though with my mint, I do technically have different flavors. I have spearmint, common mint, peppermint, and lemon mint. And so they're all different flavors, but when I dry them combined for tea and sometimes for cooking, and I just feel like it gives whatever you're doing an extra oomph, because it's multiple flavors of mint. So I don't separate my mint when I'm drying it. It's all mixed together. Something about me. And then sage, I already have a sage plant going, but I want one more summer savory. I don't need a whole bunch of that because I have rosemary that I use more commonly. But summer savory adds just a little bit of an extra flavor, but it's a lot like rosemary. So I only have one of those, which I'm happy with. What I think I'm going to do more of is oregano. I only did 2 plants of oregano. And oregano is very prolific. So if you put it in a good spot and it's happy, it's going to give you tons of oregano. It's going to give you tons and tons of leaves to dry. And so I maybe do 2 more oregano. And maybe the rest basil, just because I want to make sure I have a lot to save. Because I use a basil a lot during the year for cooking. Do you know the pint mason jars? I probably go through 2 of those in a whole year. 16 plants might fill it, but if they bolt and go to seed early, it changes the flavor. So I think I'm going to do more basil just to guarantee that I have enough for the year. Because I ran out this year. That was disappointing. I don't have to buy basil from the store. Anyways, that's a lot more information than you needed, but that's what I'm doing, in case you're wondering. I'm going to go through my seeds again and pull out the basil that I want and my oregano. And then I'm going to do Genovese basil. Maybe some large leaf basil. And lettuce leaf basil. Yes, that's what I'm doing. So lettuce leaf basil, I don't know if you see these things. They have gigantic, you're not going to see from how far I am from them, but they have, I would look it up, they have huge leaves, the leaves are probably about this big. If you have a healthy plant, you'll get big old leaves. And these ones have a slightly milder flavor that I love to eat fresh in salads. So in the summertime, we eat tons of salads for dinner. And along with the spinach and whatever leaves. I don't just use basic iceberg lettuce in my salad. Anyways, that's not the point either. I'll chop some of this in, and it's delicious. So, if you haven't done this, I completely recommend it. Okay, there we go. I need to make more tags though before I move forward. Well, guys, that's it for seeds today. This is my herb tray, my flat of seeds for herbs, and yeah, coming up next in probably 2 weeks will be the rest of my seeds, which consists of all the flowers and tomatoes, tomatillos, cucumbers, squash, kind of all those, summer vegetables. Now, what I do in my garden is much more limited than what you would normally see, but I only grow what we're going to eat at this house. And so, I'm not saying that we're limited or basic, we just have very specific preferences, and the things that grow in my region that are worth growing, like I have the time to grow, that factors into what I decide to put in my garden. And I don't have a huge garden. I would say it's bigger than a lot of people's, but it's still not huge. And so every square foot matters to me. And so I definitely do high intensity planting. I don't know which word to use. But my garden is cram packed. I don't know words today. Yeah, so that's coming up. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you have questions, let me know. Bye.